I'm used to just going in Photoshop and mocking something up. I don't understand why we have to go through this design sprint. You're not designing a mock-up. You're designing a solution to a problem.
Okay.
If you understand that, you get design sprints 100%, and see how Google does it.
Yeah.
And that brings you really deeper into something that, because we all have requests, and one of your requests, and I heard you solid like 4 months ago. You said, I want to start getting involved in the design process, as far as like how do you build software and applications and things like that. And that's exactly what you did there, my friend. So hats off to you there.
Hey, I mean, I'm still trying to like catch on, but I mean, like, I'm definitely down for like trying to get on like you and like Lizzie's page, and like just so I can like sit down and understand like what's going on.
Well, the cool part is, man, as a product guy like you are, you don't have to even do all of that. Like, so in Neo, right, I'd say maybe 1/4 of them code, and the rest of them are someone sort of like where you are now. So you're not even trying, you're doing, where they could sit on a whiteboard and architect and draw out exactly how a solution to a problem is supposed to be. Now you go code it.
Yeah.
And as long as it functions the way that I drew it out on that piece of paper, that's exactly the solution to the problem that we're gonna pump out. So you're doing a lot more than you think, my man. It's really that simple. People get paid.
Yeah, I think everybody's getting confused. They think they're not doing enough, they're not doing anything, but everybody's putting in their own input.
Yeah, and even that little sprinkle. Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I said, like, you shouldn't be hard on yourselves if you feel like, oh, maybe I'm out of the loop. Just ask questions, and I'm always here. You'll be right back in the loop.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's just keep the meeting going there, and then whoever needs to watch it, they'll watch it. And Jonathan, I'm sure you'll send out a message to say we didn't have at least four.
I had started recording it already a little bit, but
yeah, and Borzu, if Borzu pops in, then that's the fourth, and then we got the 4 people. You know what I mean?
yeah, perfect.
So I'm not too worried there. Jonathan, maybe I'll toss it on to you because you're the one that's curating this hangout.
Okay. All right, yeah, so like earlier I was talking to Sakenya. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what are we gonna touch on. Okay. So this week we actually have something coming up, as Rashawn was talking to you, like with Sneaker Shouts, right? We're gonna do a design sprint with them.
Okay.
Yeah. He's gonna tell us exactly what he wants for us to do with him. As well, we're still working on the iOS app and design sprint. They're on those designs. Have you finished going through that stuff or no?
Who, me?
Yeah. Like just
About
looking at it, just looking at the design sprint, the iOS app and the Kicks request, as Rashawn was telling you earlier.
It's on Slack or it's on Trello?
It's on Trello.
Yes, sir. Why don't you just go ahead and post in the link in the founders room, that link to the design sprint, so you can see all of the boards, Jonathan.
Yeah, when I go to Trello and I hit design sprint, the only design sprint I'm on is like the one with with me, Lizzie, and Snugs.
You don't see any other cards underneath that?
Not the ones that say. Hold on, let me try to open it up now.
There's for each day there should be 2 cards.
I'm putting this up right now.
Design sprint. Oh, okay. iOS app. That one?
Yeah. So not the iOS app board, but and if you go into the design sprint board, there's 2 cards in every day for all, I think, except Friday. And that is for the design sprint for the request process, and the other card would be for the iOS app.
It's for iOS.
And Jonathan should have provided you a link in the founders room.
Oh, okay. And again, that's where I was like, okay, design sprint, and then I was just looking at what we were doing. I didn't really pay attention to the one on the bottom.
Of course you didn't. And see, that's the beauty that we get with having so many people, Sakenya, is that we all can work on different facets of different areas of the business. Because let's just be real. To your point, what we set out to do a year ago, we've done. Now we just need to know where we're going to pivot at. And
Yeah.
so now you can look at the design sprint, but you don't have to care what's going on in other design sprints that have nothing to do with you, but at least you're caught up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, for instance, this upcoming week, really the only input that you can where you can contribute the most is just making sure that feature request process goes smoothly. So you would be going on the site, and we'll have that up probably within the next couple of days here. Start inputting requests and making sure that process goes smoothly into the request channel, and it's really that simple.
So the site is mobile, like what the mock-up was for the mobile app. Is it?
Yeah, we're doing.
A mobile.
Well, let's be
website?
clear. There is no difference. It all depends on that's the implementation. So there's two implementations. You can go mobile web, where it's the same HTML and CSS. It's no different than a web page that just looks good on a mobile device. That's the request process because it has to work on everything. By doing that, we also get the Android users. We get all of the different device users, even people who run a desktop. It might look like a narrow website when they're looking at it from a desktop perspective, but we run mobile first anyway because that means people can just pull it out of their pocket, throw a request in from on their phone.
True. Okay.
And a lot of software companies that are coming out now, they have that whole mobile-first design, and they just really cater to the mobile-friendly version first, and then to catering to the desktop version is a later sprint. And that's something that's just a straight prototype because the sprint's done, really.
Okay. Boom. I'm with it.
Yeah, it's really that simple. And the beauty is, Kenya, as long as each one of us contribute just a little bit, even look how far that went just with that one little contribution. And as long as all of us stay on the same page, look how much stuff we get done, man.
Yeah, we've gotten more stuff done like these past 2 weeks than we've done in a very long time. And Rashawn and Robert have been cooking like crazy on this on these bots. I was telling you earlier, I sent you a message to give a shout out to Robert and Snugs because they're up constantly.
And DeMonte too, because DeMonte was up. DeMonte was up snoring. So Kenya, we were up in Neo offices. We pulled an all-nighter, man. We were up all night Friday night, down to the point DeMonte was up online. He couldn't even hang no more. He was snoring, man. We had to. Speaking of which, we were saying that. When in fraternities and such, Kenya, and I was like, the person you want to talk to is Kenya. What's that process that I asked Jonathan? I said, what's the process when you initiate? That's it, Jonathan. So when you initiate somebody, because Jonathan said, "Oh, you mean when you haze somebody?" I was like, "Oh, whoa!" I was like, "Well, let's be clear here. There's no hazing that ever goes on. Just throwing that out there." I ain't in no frat, but I know what's good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I said the initiation, so we initiated DeMonte because he was passed out on the keyboard drooling at like 5 a.m. in the morning. But that shows initiative because it's like, think about it, man. When you got a handful of people that they care about the idea so much that they're up all night long cranking away till they passing out on the keyboard, we onto something pretty big that people are passionate about. Would you agree, Kenya?
Exactly.
There's Is that Borzu? What's up, Zoo?
What's up, man?
So we got our fourth.
Nice, thanks for coming through, dude.
Borzu, you saved the day, Borzu.
What up, man?
Yeah. What's going on? What do we need 4 for?
Jonathan, what do we need 4 for?
It's the magic number.
All right, I'll take it.
I think because we're pairing up with 2 people, and we have different. So if it's 3, it's kind of like a small circle for me. So if we have 2 people looking at different aspects from each side, I think it's a lot better. I would like to have everybody, all 8 of us here, but that's really far fetched. So
yeah.
So we were talking about what you've been feeling this week. What do you think about the direction we're going in, and just basically a retrospective. So I'm gonna let you go. Yeah.
And plus, wait, to throw in, just to be clear, the reason one reason why we can have 4 is that there's less confusion. So Borzu, when you come in and if you were to say, well, I want to know what's going on and I want to be caught up, it's a lot easier when half of the team can say, okay, sure, I can let you know exactly what's going on.
Okay. Would it be annoying if I said I want to know what's going on? Can I be caught up?
Nope.
All right.
That's a Jonathan question, and probably a Sakenya question too. But because Sakenya's been focused on some things.
Yeah. So what's been going on this week? They've been working on 2 different design sprints simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So the iOS app and I put that in Trello too, so you can like click on the link. iOS app and the request process. Yeah, maybe just take a look at that. Are you looking at that now?
It's opening now.
Oh, okay.
And just the brass tacks of those 2 design sprints, the beauty is that the question is always when, and the markup and the CSS and the HTML and all of that should be up on SneakyHead.com in the next day or I say next 2 days, and the iOS on SneakyHead.com and the iOS application where you can at least start be checking with the shoes to see which ones are hot or not. That'll be up this upcoming week too. So that's awesome, man. Like better to have
the hot or not is going to be up too.
Yup, both of them, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're cooking.
Been cooking.
I still think you guys need to fix that logo though.
I agree, and that sounds like a fantastic conversation to sit and go bounce back and forth with either Chris or even
Kelly or whatever.
Jamel or whoever have you. Yeah. So that and that's a good statement too, and that's good. We should be able to sit back and say if we really think that something could be improved because
I actually really like what he's doing with the lace thing. I like the idea of it. It just needs to be like tightened up a little bit, and the font needs to change.
Yes,
but
correct.
Yeah, I'll hit Evan with that and go from there.
Perfect.
Thank you, boys.
No problem. And where are we with the other stuff?
Okay.
The core SneakyHead product.
More SneakyHead product. Okay, so what were we doing? Sean, we actually had a presentation with Neo. Rashawn will tell you about that. We're gonna post that up on the site.
Now, Jonathan, you tell them about that because we both paired on it. But how did you feel? Jonathan demoed. So our day 5 of the user testing, we got that out of the way in a matter of 5 minutes by just user testing on about 30 different people. Because the guy who runs one of the guys who runs the entire outfit, he was like, why don't you guys? They have what's called a demo day on Friday, and they go through the organization and go over all of the projects people are working on. And they requested for us to do a demo on SneakyHead. So one of the guys, the principal guys, he asked us, what's it like to do a design sprint in parallel? Because they want to start doing it internally. And we said, well, we'll just show you.
So hold on. So what specifically were you demoing?
Jonathan?
We were specifically demoing the iOS app and how we do our request process on the design sprint.
The iOS app being the hot or not again.
Exactly.
Okay. But like the whole thing, like the plan A, like the original purpose of SneakyHead, are we doing stuff with that as well?
Well, let's just be clear. That request process that Sakenya's working on, that's like we learned from the Google design sprint. We tried to do a design sprint around the whole entire SneakyHead process when we should be doing a design sprint on features. I remember, Borzi, when you mentioned, design. This feels a little different for design. Somebody told me about a week or two ago, I had an epiphany. They said the design sprint is not designing mock-ups. The design sprint is designing a solution to a problem.
I understand that, and that's not exactly what I'm talking about. But wasn't like the extension, the radar, like all that stuff? Is that happening? Is that just not happening anymore?
It is all happening. The thing is it's a matter of when and where it should be distributed. So here's what we learned this past weekend. All of the we tried to cook on, like internally, we weren't able to get well, Evan's size we were able to get, but we were able to secure 6 pairs of Yeezys. Sorry, bud, couldn't get the 11. Tried real hard, but now from that, like it's it's like we're doing exactly just that. Like we're getting the shoes for the people, distributing them back out. But what we learned this past weekend, none of our technology actually wound up cooking at the end of the day. It was what you said, the page monitor. When Adidas dropped, so it was me, Robert, and a couple of other developers. It was 4 of us all on a call and sitting there just like during that heat of the moment. And then all of a sudden, the page monitor that I had just ding, and then that's when the Adidas was on. So we went to the backdoor link, and that's how we were able to cook, because we got a backdoor link for Adidas, by the way.
No, I saw that, and even like the Yeezy it's for lack of it's a hard one. That is.
It's a hard one, dude. I think I got more gray hairs. I got gray hairs this weekend.
No, I think you got logged out. There we go.
All right, sorry. So, I mean, that's the Yeezy's obviously not a shoe I would expect everyone to be able to get. You know what I mean?
Right.
But and I mean, it's no skin off my back, obviously, but like, I feel like the solution where like you guys aren't doing the work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Is the one that's going to be the biggest for us.
So let's just be clear. I just got off the horn with Robert before this, and when this is one thing we talk about at Neo, is they love the fact where it's like go out and manually experience the pain, because then when you automate it, that's when you nail it. Yeah. And Robert and I, we both said, we were like, man, because we learned so much. Like, so when these sites go down and all of that stuff, we wrote all of the code for what to do when the sites go down and how to still allow someone to check out their cart. And Robert sat there and he was like, dude, one thing I learned this weekend, we're never doing that again. Because now we can automate the entire process. We stayed up all night till like, what time did we wind up finishing, Jonathan? We stayed up.
It was like 11. Oh, I mean, it was probably, 11:30, something like that.
11:30 a.m. So we were working from 11:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
But like what, I mean, do we think we're like months away from that? Like,
oh, no. So let's just be clear. What popped up this past weekend, you touched on it. So what's up with the like page monitors and all of that stuff?
Yeah.
We need it. It's something that can be very valuable, but it's a little bit on the technical side. So how can we expose that to someone? Like, why would they even need to even watch a page monitor? Maybe, and is that let them not be lazy and want to try to cook too as well? Then how do we give that to them? Is it a Chrome extension? Do we have the page monitor up on a mobile device from within the mobile application? Those are very good questions, and that's what you do a design sprint on, Borzu.
So hold on, what's the page monitor?
Borzu, you'd probably be able to touch on that.
So like you know how on the Yeezy page it kept like refreshing to tell you when they were out or when they were selling them or like a bunch of different shit. Like, but you basically had to sit there and keep hitting the refresh button to see it. Or like even on any release, it's like it's counting down like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. You know what I mean? So can you?
I'm with you on that.
Okay. So basically, the page monitor is a plugin that keeps track of that for you. So instead of you watching the page, it notifies you when the page changes.
Because while we were trying to cook too, like, so Robert had one of his colleagues on one of his buddies, this 16-year-old guy who runs the bot add the cart site. And when the technology stopped working, all I kept hearing was click, 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 like a freaking hamster on a wheel. And these guys were just sitting there pressing refresh all the time, and they were like, "Need this page monitor, man! Need this page monitor."
Yeah.
So that's the.
I mean, I had never even heard of it until Evan told me to use it.
So what we can do is we have the code for that page monitor that Evan gave you, and we can read. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying so that's different than the actual SneakyHead application.
It's different, but if we can kind of have it all in one.
Yes.
It's a feature we could integrate into the SneakyHead application.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yes. And it's really SneakyHead. SneakyHead's more of, as Chris said, think the Mercedes-Benz model, right? It's like if you think Mercedes sells cars and you're wildly mistaken. Like, yeah, they make decent money off of cars, but they give you that first car just so you can stay in their warranty process, their maintenance fees, and all of that stuff. So really, it's that, okay, well, people are going to want to monitor a certain shoe. Well, we give them a page monitor. How do they get the page monitor? I don't know. Do you use a desktop browser? So you're going to have to download an extension with a page monitor in it. Do you use your iPhone? Okay, well, maybe the page monitor works from within the Hot or Not application. Because you wouldn't want to have two applications. We want to really package it and brand it under one umbrella, right?
Or you could be like Google and just have a whole bunch of different applications and people use what they want.
That's a thought. That's a valid thought.
Okay.
Older on my iPhone, just a different Google.
So Borzi, what's good then is start thinking about like what's a clean process, and even yourself, like if Borzi, you're sitting back and say, okay, well, I know I need to use some page monitor, but I ain't trying to think about a whole bunch of shit. What's the minimum that you need to know from a page monitor, and then we'll just design that out and just implement it wherever is the best way to do it, whether it be an iPhone application or some Chrome extension or something. Because we have the code already. The reason why I'm saying it, we have all of these parts and they are all working. They're just not packaged and think like a Tiffany box. They're not in a box with a bow on it.
I mean, I don't know that it's an either or thing. I'll think about it. I like them both. You know what I mean? Especially if it was me. I mean, I want to do it on mobile.
Well, it always should be for you, Borzi. You should.
I want to do it on my phone. I don't want to have to be in front of a computer. 100%.
Well, that's There you go. That's why even with the request process, Mr. Kenya was saying, is this a mobile app? Or we were like, nah, bro, we're just designing for mobile first because that's what big boys do. We're just going to design for mobile first and go from there because that's usually that's our primary use case. Whether it's a website or an iPhone application, but I like mobile first web apps because then an Android user can use it.
Yeah.
True. I'm with you.
I thought all Android users were poor, though.
Damn, the shade is real. The shade is real. So, Kenya, you're an Android user?
No, man. I'm straight iPhone. Don't put me in that slum.
Yeah, Android users are in the slum. They still talk on Facebook group chat. So what else we got, Jonathan?
Okay. How do you like the inner workings of Slack? How we function on Slack?
I mean, I'm getting down with it.
Are you getting down with it finally?
Yeah.
All right. If like I said,
Doug still yelled at me for talking about the page monitor in the quick kick request room.
Yeah.
Let's
make sure not to put anything else that's unrelated to Kicks request and Kick request.
I mean, I get it, but it's like the conversation starts.
I know the conversation starts and it goes on to something else, but we just gotta watch ourselves. Because then I'll have to go back in and just clean all those messages out when it's just only Kicks requests.
Well, it makes sense, and Kenya probably totally gets this now. It makes sense for us to not do that because really that's going to be an automated room. Because what Robert has in his mind, he's going to the request process. All it does is gathers information about people's requests and just dumps them in the Slack channel. Robert is working on a cloud bot, the sneaky bot, that just really just travel. Let it read the request channel and let it just queue up requests to satisfy requests, and that eliminates all of the manual process of the request process, and I think it satisfies your concern, Borzu, where it's like, are we really manually going to do this? What I learned is, if it's after release date, that the chance of us manually doing it goes up exponentially. If it's before release date, we don't have to do anything manually.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I guess I'm giving up on it because obviously everyone else is super into it. I just feel like it's not going to scale. It's a lot of work. You know what I mean? And again, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not the one doing the work. You know what I mean? I feel like for you guys, it's a lot to take on. But if you guys are into it, I mean, everyone seems to be completely into it.
So what's awesome though, Borzu, is that is like I said, as long as it's before release date, and this still goes along from our first Mario's design sprint from the very first one we did of like the machine gun funk and all of that. As long as we can automate the whole process, the minute that humans have to step into it, we're hosed.
I understand that. I just feel like that's the way we're going. You know?
Yeah, because the types of shoes that people seem to want seem to be shoes that have already came out. Or if there are shoes that are about to come out, it's because we don't have Robert's technology that he's been working on, where it's like a request comes into the request channel and then a bot goes and takes that request and tries to munch on it when release date rolls around. If that was actually working, would you feel a little bit better then, like we're doing less work? Because I get you. I want to be lazy too.
I mean, and again, I'm being lazy either way. You know, I'm not the one doing it. You know, But yeah, I feel like if I were you guys, I would want to not be working on that shit.
Yeah, I think what Borzu feels is like we might be spending too much time on one thing and not spending enough time on another. But it's actually not what's going on though. Like we're actually like really, in terms of time, we're actually doing very well with that.
I mean, I believe you, and obviously everyone's on board with it, and I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. Like I said, it's not. It doesn't affect me, you know what I mean? So I'm on board as well, you know? I'm not gonna like fight it just to fight it, you know?
Make sure like to voice your like yeah, make sure to voice anything like that you feel like you need to speak on, or I mean even on the design sprint, like you were saying, you don't like the certain aspect of the logo.
Yeah.
Unsure of it too, so maybe link up with Chris and then talk to Jamel, and then you all figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. I'm definitely saying it.
And the only reason why too is because why we say Chris is because Chris expressed the same concern as you, Borzu. So it's, if two people are expressing the same concern, and they really need to really be pairing with each other and at least bounce ideas.
All right, yeah, no, I'll definitely talk to him.
Yeah, and then also like you were talking about having another design sprint. Anytime you want to get on one of those, definitely do that. I know you have a lot of ideas out there. Design sprint aren't as complicated as you think, and they're very simple to do. So.
Yeah, I think Noel spent half an hour each day during the 5 days, and we were able to finish the thing off. So that was really cool.
All right. I mean, I'll sync up with you guys offline on that, cause like I mean, I come to this folder and I see the stuff that you guys are working on, but. I don't know. I'll sync up with you, Jonathan, on that kind of stuff and see where I can.
All right, yeah, definitely hit me up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
All right. So, like in retrospect, I think this week went really well.
What about do less, do more, Jonathan?
Yes, exactly. I was wanting to see what you guys felt about what you guys want to do more of this week.
Less of is always first, for sure.
Less of this week, do more of this week, or do the same of.
I want to get more Yeezys.
Okay.
Word.
Yeah.
I definitely, and I'm kind of kidding. Like I never get as upset about not getting a shoe as I do about the amount of time I spent trying to get the shoe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like.
Right, that's a point.
I just wish I could go back in time and have not put any time into it.
So, Borza, why don't you take that pain right there and, like, I'm telling, like, we were talking about the behavioral psychology side of things, Jonathan and I were earlier today, and take that pain and use that as a driving force, because here's what I do know. Google will tell you straight up, if you can really satisfy that pain point for somebody, like, here, I had this pain, or my mom says, she has this quote, she says, there's no trick in business. You find a pain and heal it, or you find a hurt and heal it, find a pain and find a hurt and heal it, find a problem and solve it, and I add automate that shit. Because if if you can do that, if you can heal some pain, oh my God, people will give you whatever money you want.
I mean, I get that, and I think that's what we're doing. I just the difficult part of that is all on your lap.
Right.
You know,
well,
like I'm happy to pitch in for the logo and some layout stuff and some testing stuff. You know what I mean? but I think you guys know like what to do. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I can't help you guys write that code.
No, you damn right about that. That's why we got the development team is growing on that capacity. If you so the
Yeah, I saw
development
you
team.
guys adding people.
Well, the development team grew by one person, and next week the development team is going to grow by another person. Robert's boy, who was on the line for SneakyHead all freaking morning long, and he's the one that alley-ooped us that Adidas backdoor link that we got in the request channel, and that's how we got the Yeezys.
Okay, there's Virginia. So what about you? What do you want to do less of, the same of, or more of? Virginia?
I think he got caught up in them barbecue ribs out on the grill.
What about you, Snugs?
What I want to do less of is I don't know. I want to do less getting in the way of other people, and really trusted people that I got around me, and that they know exactly what they can do and where they can contribute, and more importantly, where they can't contribute, and letting them go. I mean, to just really trust people that people have great intentions. What I want to do the same of, I want to do the same development, because this past couple of weeks with development, like what I like is we've been selling a lot of sizzle for months, but we're actually got some steak on the grill. Like I looked at all of the people that we helped this weekend, like even Robert alone with the stuff we were doing, we were able to get like 10 or 11. I know this is like rubbing a sore wound, Borzu, but we were able to get like 10 or 11 people some.
Dude, I even told Robert, I was like, listen, if I can get one pair, I was like, get me the 6. It wasn't even for me. It was the one for did you see the screenshot I put up?
No, I didn't. What was that?
Even when the one I added to cart.
Yeah.
I added a size 6 for Nikki. I didn't even try for me.
Oh right.
Until the 6 was sold out, I didn't even try for an 11.
And see, it's that right there, man. Like stepping in and saying, okay, well, I know how fucked up the game is, and I want to try to help somebody out. Like, I mean, I appreciate that, man, and that's a big heart of you. Like, that's what it's all about right there. But the trick is, how do we not spend the human time in doing that? Yeah. I hear you talking, brother.
I still think the Yeezys are like a BHAG, like a stretch goal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're so limited. I don't know. You know better than me, but I don't know that we're ever going to bat 1,000 on those.
Oh no! But now the trick is with those is you get a few solid pairs and put them in the right people's hands. And that speaks volumes.
Where are we with? So you said
Oh, by the way, I have no more do more of. That's it. I just have a do less. I just have a do less and do same, and that's it.
Sorry, can I jump around a little bit?
Yep.
Where are we with? I know you said iOS app, and what else is going to be up this week?
The request process.
So if I want to do more on that, I'd want to spend some time pushing that stuff out.
Okay.
So do more of that. Well, that's good. So basically, just get those 2 design sprints knocked out. And here's the cool part about it is. Huh?
I mean, like when it's live, like I'll try to get some press releases. I'll try to get some social media love for it. I'll try to do stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Like if you guys are really ready, if it's up and ready to like, if you want people seeing it and using it,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like insane. Just like some social media stuff. I'll get someone to write a press release for us.
Well, let's be clear.
I'll try to get someone to write about it.
I think that's something that would come at the phase after this, because the current phase then would be user testing, right? So it's like.
Okay, so we're not like launching.
Right, but the thing is that we're getting it into people's hands. So we use Test Flight. There's this application called Test Flight. It allows you to have 1,000 user tests, or people who can actually use the iPhone application. That's usually where you start off building an app, and you put it in X amount of people's hands, up to 1,000. And when they all say it's a go, then like you do whatever you want to do, like let it rip.
All right, even on that, if you have, I can find some good people for that.
That's exactly what you do, because really, I guess to answer your question, it's more about buzz in this phase than it is about PR.
So I don't have like like sneakerheads with huge influence, but I have tech guys and developers that know a lot about UX and UI. That'll be good.
Nice. And plus, really, let's just be clear. What we learned from SneakerCon, and Sakenya might want to tune in on that. Well, he's not there. What we learned from SneakerCon is that sneakerheads aren't really our target market. But that was clear to me right in my face that sneakerheads weren't our target market. And what I mean by that is it's more people who are like, oh man, I like shoes, or they might have one pair of Jordans and they call themselves a sneakerhead. And they might not know what the name of that shoe is or whatever, but they know they know when they see something that they like it. That I'm telling you, like that is we'll eat those up all day long. That is our market. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you sort of see that?
I mean, I can see that. Yeah. I still think we market to the sneakerhead because that's how it proliferates outward.
Oh, I see.
But because I think that keeps it like more authentic. It's like you don't sell hip hop to white people by making hip hop for white people, you know?
Lil Dicky does though.
That's still not why Straight Outta Compton did 60 million the first weekend.
That's true. You're right about that. You're right about that. That's true, man. But I agree with you then. Yeah, let's really hone in on that because that's the two things that are that will be the most polished. And plus, the cool thing about our design sprints is we have to move fast on them because, Jonathan, you'll talk about, are you familiar with what we're doing with Sneaker Shouts, Sporzu?
I don't think so.
So that you definitely catch him up on that, Jonathan.
Okay, so did Rashawn tell you about Sneaker Shots though? Ivan?
No, fill me in from the beginning.
Okay. All right, well, there's a video up, which I did post in general. So Ivan, he runs Sneaker Shouts. I'm going to send you the link, okay?
Okay.
Sneaker Shouts.
The Instagram account is usually the main one.
Yeah. There we
If
go.
you want to just DM it to me, I can just watch it later.
Oh, it's just a website. I'm going to direct message it to you right now as well, so you have it here. There you go.
I'm looking at their Instagram right now.
250,000 followers, not too shabby, huh, Borzu?
Not bad. It's a lot more than I got.
What'd you say?
It's a lot more than I got.
And by the way, he loves the whole Sneaky Head collective idea. Like he loves it, man. The reason why he loves it is because he does everything himself. 30 minutes. It takes him like forever to manage everything. He has a couple of helpers, but he does everything mostly himself. And he's like, "Damn it, man! I needed a team of people around me to bounce ideas off of."
What do they do?
Well, how they make their money is they're an affiliation. So that remember months ago when Chris was like, "Why would Nike sign up a deal with Sneaker Shouts and give them 1% for retros and 6% for general GR release sneakers?" And what we learned is because Ivan said straight up, he says 70% of my followers don't even follow Nike.
I believe it.
So he said that so all he does is he takes all of these links. He gets these early links from this company called VidLinks. VidLinks provides them 48 hours prior to a release a link to where the shoe will be. They also attach an affiliate marketing ID to the end of that link so Nike knows where that request came from. And if that person checks out, then that is where Sneaker Shouts eats. And they eat, I'm telling you, like, boys are like, they eat to the point where I'm like, man, if SneakyHead could do what Sneaker Shouts is doing financially, we're all good.
I know this is kind of just agreeing with what you're saying, but I still think that and like a blogging component could be huge for SneakyHead.
Aha, and that's the cool part is that I'm learning we'll let these people in our collective do exactly what they're good at. And Ivan's doing a design sprint exactly on that, what you said right there this week with us.
Awesome.
And we start that. I have a conference call with them at 6:30, so that we'll touch on that tonight with them.
Loosely related, I've been looking at affiliate marketing stuff for other things.
Yes.
I met a guy who has the fucking stupidest website. It's like how to pick up girls.
Nice.
sells like an $80 ebook, but he uses affiliate marketers. So you know that stupid shit on Facebook you do where it's like, who's your fucking spouse on or love interest on Facebook or what percentage of the coolest foods have you eaten? All that shit people do.
Wait, so you mean that that's not real?
Well, they do those to capture all your contact info, and they market stuff to you, right? So all these affiliate marketers, they'll push your website out if they like it, and they do it all commission based. But this guy's got a fucking how to pick up chick site. He makes $20 million a year selling $70 ebooks.
Jonathan, you remember that link I sent you for taking the one area in the 4-Hour Work Week you heard was about having an information product? You remember that one soundbite I gave you? It was like 5 minutes long?
Yes.
And that's what he was really touching on. He was like, all you have to do is have an information product. Since it was about 6, 7 years old, he mentioned having a CD. And he was saying that you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars just tossing off an information product like that. The reason why you wouldn't want to do something like create a shoe, he said, I've seen the latest release Nike be on the shelf and have an exact replica in less than 1 week coming from some Chinese factory. An information product, on the other hand, is very difficult for somebody else to come and reproduce. Not to say that they can't, like how to pick up chicks. Like, heck, any one of us on the horn right there could actually write that book.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
For real. That's why it bothered me.
Especially look at Borzu and Kenya. They already picked up their chick. And you, Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that information product right there, people see it and they're like, oh, there's more people that are like, oh, yeah, I want to know that information. And there are people sitting around like, I want to duplicate this and make money off of it too. That's how you win.
Yeah, and everyone's got $60 to drop.
Exactly. Really, that many millions? Oh, I don't doubt it, man.
He said, I met a guy who does content for sites like this. He charges like 30 grand a site to do it. But he said he's seen sites do 5 million like within 3 days of launching.
Borzu, you got up his Instagram with Sneaker Shouts?
Yeah.
I was sitting back and I was like, so where are all this huge pool of images that we're going to use for the Hot or Not app going to come from?
You just going to jack it from here?
We're going to we're not going to jack it, we're just going to tell Ivan what we're going to do.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I know, definitely, for sure. Yeah. And to answer your question, we're just going to straight jack them from off of Sneaker Shouts, and that's going to be the Hot or Not app powered by Sneaker Shouts for the time being. What do you think about that? What do you think about that idea?
It's a win for everyone.
And not only that, it helps your concern where it's just like, well, you guys are the ones that have to start doing the content, and then it's like, well, shit, like we already got somebody in our SneakyHead collective that is already generating content to 250,000 people.
Do we have our Instagram yet?
No, but Sneaker Shouts does.
Well, no, I was gonna say I'll give him a picture of like the family in the infrared 6s.
Oh, yes.
Have him put that up and link it back to SneakyHead when it's up.
I see. Yeah, see, all of that little stuff works. That's the stuff that you talk about in Slack.
No, and Borgie, don't be afraid to hit up Ivan either.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know Robert did.
Is Ivan on there?
Yeah. Ivan Antunes. That is.
But I didn't know who that was until literally right now.
Oh, yeah. Ivan Antunes is Sneaker Shouts.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. So.
And that's why I was saying it's really cool that we had that sort of disconnection with the group, and then now we're like, because we're like super connected, and that's why I was really like, well, for God's sakes, we might not know what we're doing, but let's not let Sneaker Shouts know that in a public room.
Noted. Yeah, I didn't realize we had anyone in Slack that wasn't.
Actually, there's we brought on about how many new people? Like 5?
Yes.
No, I knew that new people were coming, but I thought they were all like interns and shit.
No,
they were.
Whoa, it's all across the board varies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all across the board varies for sure. Yeah, we're gonna at some point we'll probably have DJ Dells be up in there.
I don't know who that is.
Well, the Sneaker Addict. I'm an addict for sneakers. He's the only guy I watch on YouTube that actually has a legitimate sneaker review podcast. I'll actually talk to him. I'll make that my mission. I'll talk to him in September. He'll be one of the he'll be one of the high star add-ons that we'll try to get up in the
Yeah, because
sneaker.
remember you and Chris were talking about compiling a list of known YouTubers,
Yep.
going through them, seeing. So I mean, he could be one of those known YouTubers, right?
Exactly. Because having those people involved, it's oh my god, it's totally awesome. Because then you have experts, and then also if you add people in there, really the way that request channel should even work too. We should be able to just go in there and say, Sneaky Bot, I need a pair of Yeezy size 10, and let that shit take care of the or let the bot take care of the request process all the way through to getting the transaction number and all of that stuff. And if you want to like say, okay, well, I have sensitive credit card information, then you'd set up a private group or a private conversation with SneakyBot, which I learned you can do, Jonathan, and just start tossing it the information right there. Say, here's my private information, here's what I'm looking for, and just let me know when it's there. And then that makes SneakyHead as a collective and as a community humongous. I'm actually going to be talking about that on September 3rd because we're asked to speak at a founders meetup here in New York City, and they want us to touch on SneakyHead.
I don't know, like in a difficulty level, just if this is crazy or not, but like, are we gonna take all that communication off Slack into a proprietary system at some point?
I don't think we should, and I'll tell you why. Because there's actually, let me share my screen, and this will make a lot of sense here. Let's see here, and don't make fun of all my tabs that I have over here. But if I go over to Slack, so I go into AirPair. Ooh, Jonathan, we got AirPair. Okay. Oh,
Right.
squirrel. You ever see that movie Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, squirrel. So AirPair, this is Jonathan actually did a customer service contract for them. So you see it says plus 722 more. Like these are all. So this is AirPair, and they have maybe what 200 or 300 people. Jonathan, would you say?
Yeah.
So they run all of AirPair. It started off as an Google Docs Excel spreadsheet. The guys would go out, find somebody that needed someone to work on their website for a couple of hours, and then find a person that could work on a website for a couple of hours. Just use a spreadsheet to start up Google Hangouts, the same one that we're on now.
Yeah, you told me all about that.
Yeah, they moved everything to AirPair. They have zero problems. The trick is having the right private groups, having the right direct messages, and having the right channels set up. So like there's AirPair support in here, and right. So this is the girl that I'm about to do an AirPair with. She just joined in for support, probably linking up to figure out how she's going to actually find her expert, because she's actually paid by the time she got into the Slack channel. So there's Borzu's little note to maybe that's the subscription. You ever think about that, Borzu? Or you get your ass kicked out of the Slack channel or something like that. Just a thought. Just a thought, you know? Like, so in here, she reached in here, said, hello, went in the wrong channel. Now she's over here by AirPair support. And there's that. And now I have, look at this. And then that's how it filters out now. You see how I just got that?
I mean, I see it, yeah. Do you need to talk to her? Yeah.
At 3:30. There it is, right there. So that, I mean, you just saw a money transaction from start to finish go through just like that, from within Slack.
Okay.
So, can we go on to something better? Sure, we can. But I saw I did some research on this Slack. This blew my mind when I saw this, Borzu. Tell me what you think of this. Let's see here. So look at this. WordPress, 4,798 members. Which one looks like the most interesting one?
I don't know. Hackers.
Hackers? Oh, right here. So this is like the entry to it, right? and it just tells you what your mission statement is, like Chris was talking about, and then
Uh-huh.
you sign up, and then we sort of go through like how Robert and we all do before we put somebody in the dev channel. Okay, so what do you do here, and how can you contribute? Because if you can't, then sorry, not looking. And that's kind of how we've taken Slack to this date, if you think about it.
All right.
Yeah, so I think we got everything through. Do you feel comfortable with what we talked about, Borzu?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, tight. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe we might not need to have this weekly. Maybe let's do it every 2 weeks. This is what I'm thinking now. Okay. So like we'll go through like a different process than just not having to do it every week because we might not have everything done by the end of the week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's play that by ear before we make that decision. Really, because we got to get through this week and see who's watched this, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna ask Evan and and even Zach and say, hey, did you hear at minute 59 when I said Evan and Zach should be listening to this right now because they should be listening to this right now, right, Evan and Zach?
Also, 2 weeks from now is Labor Day, so that's going to be a tough one to get people on. So you may want to have one next week and then skip the one after.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Well, I think we got everything through. So, I mean, if you sometimes you forget something, just go back to this video or just hit me up.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely hit you up, man.
Definitely hit me up. All
Yeah.
right. All right. We good, Snacks?
Yeah, we're good. Boys, are we good?
All good.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right, guys.